Hello and welcome to my review of X2 X-Men United, starring Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, and Ian McKellen. This movie takes place very soon after the first film. It starts out with Nightcrawler, a teleporter played by Alan Cumming, attacking the White House and nearly killing the president. When Professor Xavier and his group of mutants go to investigate this crisis, they find out that it was coordinated by a man named William Stryker, who's a ruthless government scientist who wants to wipe out all mutants. Stryker also has a link to the ever-mysterious past of Wolverine. And also we have Magneto from the first film, freeing himself from his plastic prison to help the X-Men, but it might be to achieve his own nefarious ends. X-Men 2 is an interesting case, because I'd say about 70% of this movie is excellent. Like a perfect sequel, does everything a sequel should do, develops the characters further, ups the ante, all that good stuff. And then we get to the climax, which I'll get to in a second, but the climax really drags this movie down. But let's talk about the great 70% of this film first. The entire original cast from the first film is back and is as excellent as ever, and we also are introduced to some cool new characters like Nightcrawler and Pyro, who are a little underdeveloped, but that's just the cost of being in a team movie. But their powers are so cool, and their characters, for what we do see of them, are interesting enough to where they fit in pretty naturally. Also, the movie does a good job of making things darker. For a lot of this film, the team is split up, and several major members of the team are in extreme danger, and you really feel that tension. We also have some character arcs continuing, like Wolverine confronting his very dark, and in this film portrayed as very disturbing past, as well as some characters kind of deciding whether they want to be good or evil, which is always something I found pretty interesting about this series. They also up the ante considerably in the action set pieces, especially this one scene where Wolverine is just wasting these guys who are invading the X-Mansion. It's very brutal, it's very well filmed, and you really get a sense of Wolverine's anger and power. And then we get to the last act of this film, and everything just kind of falls apart. There is a good hour in this film that takes place in William Stryker's underground base in Alkali Lake, and it's just... First off, it's just very drab looking. There's not a whole lot of variety in terms of sets or color, and you kind of feel like you're staring at a wall the entire time. And what started out as really suspenseful ends up with our characters kind of meandering around this base for a while waiting for something to happen. They try to take it into a more cerebral direction by having Professor Xavier be the cause or the main weapon of William Stryker because he brainwashes him into destroying all the humans. But it just feels meandering because he projects this device that William Stryker uses through a little girl. And it feels like you're watching 30 minutes of a little girl telling him, "Find all the mutants, find all the mutants, kill all the humans, kill all the humans." And even the stuff you discover about Wolverine, while effective, the scene where he discovers it turns very silly because he ends up just fighting a girl with long fingernails, and it's just hard to invest in. But then, just before the end, the movie wakes the hell up and then has this ending that completely kicks ass and leaves you begging for the third film. So overall, X-Men 2, for the most part, is a very good superhero film, but it feels underwhelming because of the ending, and I feel like if they had had a better climax, this could have been an excellent, emotionally gripping film as well as just a gripping action film. It comes close though, and I'd give it 3 stars out of 4. Definitely a solid sequel, but I'd still put the original a little over it. Alright, we have X2 out of the way. Here comes X-Men 3 and Wolverine. Oh god, what am I doing with my life? And if you like this review, subscribe to my channel because there'll be plenty more reviews and videos coming up.